We're excited to have you here today with us. I want to introduce Rich Hellerich, the principal of Great Plains, who's been working tirelessly for the past year on getting everything put together here. Regardless of what happens with DOL, Great Plains has your back. Rich also has an exciting announcement that just came in this morning that hopefully will be good news for all of us. But with that, Rich, where are we at on DOL?
Yeah, thanks, Rob, and hey, good morning to everybody, and thanks for attending today's webinar on an update of the DOL. I know it must be a topic of interest for the number of people we have on the webinar, so thanks for attending so I can talk to everybody all at one time. You know, we talked on DOL about 30 days ago when I had another webinar to tell everybody where we were at, and I remember 30 days ago everybody thought, and we thought, you know, everything had kind of calmed down, and with basically the administration change that things were going to be postponed and we weren't going to be where we're at. But about 2 or 3 weeks ago, we weren't getting the right kind of information, and it looked like we all had to be, you know, back at a 90-degree angle back in the middle of everything. So, but anyway, I wanted to give everybody an update from stuff that I've been doing, you know, to find out exactly what we have to do and be prepared for the changes that are going to come. But I did get some exciting news, I think, today, and which coincides with a couple things that we're going to talk about here in a minute that we have heard forever and ever, I guess. But with the administration change, and we've always heard that this was coming down, and people that I was talking to on a couple other topics the last couple weeks, we did hear that at the last minute there was going to be a reprieve on this thing and a delay, and we heard that it was going to be a 2-month delay. But you know what? Man, we never got anything in writing. We kept hearing it was going to come, but we never heard it. But then I think today we just heard from Insurance or Investment News, and it looks like the DOL, the delay in the final rule is going to make a final and formal announcement tomorrow, and it will get pushed back until June 9th. And they're going to look at the rule and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to go a little bit further on what I'm hearing so I can just dive in here and tell you what I have heard. And are these sources good? Yeah, I think they are, coming from a couple broker-dealers from their compliance section that we work with. We are being told that not only this was going to happen, but there is going to be, in that period, another 6-month delay on that rule. And then somewhere in that 6 to 8 months that we have now, that the whole thing is going to be revised. And the best part is we think that annuities are not going to be part of the BIC contract. Now, it could, but as we understand it and believe, we're being told that fixed annuities, indexed annuities are probably not going to be a part of the DOL, especially on the BIC side where you have to have a fiduciary side of it. So that's what we think is going to happen, and everybody I'm hearing, that's where we think it's going to go. However, when we get to these other topics, I want to tell you what we did and what we're doing, because I don't want to go through this part again. And I go back, we can go to that next slide, Rob, and I don't have a lot of slides in here because I'm going to just pretty much talk about where we stand at on all 3 of these topics. And, you know, we go back to, you know, the 3 people, or the 3 different segments of our market that are selling annuities, insurance, and also securities and so forth. And here's where they all 3 are. You can actually be all 3 of these, or you can be just basically an insurance-only agent. And so if you're an insurance-only agent, only one component of the DOL applies to you. And if you are an insurance-only agent, then basically you have to be affiliated with a firm that is eventually going to have FI status or financial institution status that is going to be able to sign up on that BIC contract. Now, going back to the delay, I don't really care if that delay happens or not, which, you know, looks like it's going to happen, but here's my point. I do believe from everybody I talk to that if you do get another administration change, I think they're going to come back in here and hammer this similar rule down on us in a couple of years, maybe 4 years, or who knows, maybe we got a reprieve for 6 to 8 years. I don't know. I just don't want to be caught here again, and it's going to force Great Plains, you know, to be as on the FI status affiliated with a group that which we are, that has the ability to sign off if you're going to maintain that independent agent and not become a securities rep or an IAR under an RIA, you have to have somebody that can sign off on that business, and we can do that. So secured that, and not only have we done that, but we have all the software in place with the websites where everybody can log on there for the risk analyzer software, the actual forms that you're going to have to sign off that has to have the fiduciary sign off on it. And in fact, I like it so much in the software we're going to have, we are going to keep pushing that, and hopefully within a couple months here, launch that website where if an agent only, licensed only agent for insurance, they want to use that risk analyzer software, it's really cool. I think you're going to have a good luck with it, and it can show a really nice sales tool that can help you sell more anyway. But very nice everything involved with the DOL, that if it goes to that issue, we have everybody covered if you do not want to be 65, which is the IAR and an RIA, or if you're not Security 7 licensed. So, and the other thing I'll tell you, every carrier, we love Guggenheim and Equitrust up here, B++ rated carriers. I think they're eventually going to be A- again, but until they are, we have to make sure we're covered on our B+ rated carriers. And all the carriers that you're selling up here at Great Plains, I think we got 16 of them that are, we have the FI that will sign off on those companies. Some of the companies that, you know, like one-outs, without naming them, you can call up here and talk to us, but if you're a Great Plains agent, you're probably not selling too many of those out-of-the-way companies anyway. But everything we're doing up here, we have the ability to sign off on a BIC if that agent needs it. So everything is covered. And we have all the software and all the stuff behind the scenes to make sure you're covered. And that's what I want everybody to understand. So we have that in place. And if this thing would have happened and not gotten the delay, April 10th, and it would have went full bore, we were there. That's what you need to know. Going one step further on that, letting you know that all the carriers that have contacted us, they've increased their suitability forms, and they had another page added to comply with the BIC, and they're ready to go, most of those carriers with extended suitability. But it doesn't matter. All of them have said, you know, we're not going to do it because if the delay comes, and we're ready to go if it happens, but you're not going to need it, is what I'm being told now. So everybody's good, even if you're just an independent agent and not securities or have a 65 as a registered investment advisor. So we're covered there. Okay, next thing I want to get back down to, and I think 30 days ago and even 60 days ago when I talked to everybody, what are we doing with a broker-dealer? And here's what I'm going to tell you. You know, over the last 3 or 4 years after 0550, and it hasn't happened rampantly, but enough that I'm finally tired of it, and maybe you guys are tired of it too. But, you know, hooking in with a broker-dealer and turning over a lot of our producers just to a broker-dealer and saying, hey, take care of our guys the way we took care of them and all that kind of stuff, and make sure that they don't, you know, take our agents or do something with them that we wouldn't want to have happen. You know, I've told everybody even 30 days ago we were looking at affiliating with a broker-dealer, but I've gone one step further, and April 17th, I think, Rob, isn't that the date?
That's correct.
April 17th or 18th, I'll announce that we have hired a young man to come in here that has been an OSJ for, I think, 12, 13 years in that capacity. He's worked at another IMO that he ran their security side in that division for a long time. He's very insurance-centric, but he knows everything you need to know on the security side, and he has more licenses than you can shake a stick at. I mean, he has a 65, he has 64, 24, 7, 63, and on and on and on, insurance too. But anyway, he'll be coming in here. We'll announce that on the 17th. And so we go back to the broker-dealer. I've been on the phone, like Rob said, talking to these broker-dealers, and finally narrowed it down where we're at our final 3, and we're probably going to be going out to see these guys in the next 2 weeks, and we'll have a decision probably by the end of April, and here's our broker-dealer that we're going to be an OSJ for. And so anybody that is a 7 license, and when we did this, we have insurance products in mind along with the security side, and we'll be able to handle anything and everything you want to do there. And you'll be able to call in and talk to a guy that knows the business super well and can help you out with any of the security questions you have. And I promise you, the broker-dealer that we are going with They think like Great Plains. They're very, very service-oriented. You're going to be able to get a hold of people up there, and I'm impressed with them. So, and I'm a tough sale, and I think a couple of these guys really got me in their corner. So we're going to have all this thing taken care of. And as far as payouts and everything with the broker-dealer, I think we've negotiated good enough stuff in there, and even to where it won't affect insurance business, and I think everybody's going to like it. So even if DOL, then you come back to if DOL does regulate and throw it into the BIC, there again, we're covered there. You guys are going to be covered. We got all the companies in that wheelhouse that you're going to need to be able to do it. And so what I encourage you to do, I'm not trying to take one guy from another broker-dealer or whatever, but I encourage you that if you are Series 7 and you know you're not happy with the way your broker-dealer is treating you with DOL, you might want to give us a phone call. It may work out better for you, and I know changing, BDs is a hell of a lot harder than contracting with the next IMO on the next hot MIGA rate or the next indexed annuity. But on the long haul, I'm in it to stay for the long haul, and I bet you guys are too, and I'm not going anywhere. And if we hook in with that broker-dealer, we're going to be in there with the long haul, and we're going to make sure we do it right to start with so that we don't have anything in 3 years, have any I told you so or any I got yous there. So anyway, encouraging you to talk to us, and I think we have a solution for those guys too. Okay, so now we go down to create the RIA platform. Well, I've been told, and everything like that, even back up to the broker-dealer, because Great Plains, we were seriously considering buying a broker-dealer and possibly starting our own RIA at that time. I've been counseled here that it's probably easier and cheaper at this point to do what we're doing back with the OSJ on the broker-dealer, but also renting an RIA that has all the different tools that we'll need for those guys that want to manage money on a fee-based idea. Again, I think we have a really good RIA through the broker-dealers that we're looking at that are going to really fit everything we're trying to do. So wrapped up into that, if you are an RIA or that you may need to affiliate with a broker-dealer, but if you're thinking about becoming an IAR and you're going to need to affiliate with an RIA and mainly an insurance-centric RIA, then I would tell you honestly, when our new guy starts in here and you want to go down that path of getting your license, etc., then give us a phone call and we'll put you on the right footing there to do that. So we're going to have all three of these covered is what I'm trying to get at. So if you're affiliated with a broker-dealer and the RIAs there, remember they would be signing off on the BIC. You're going to be covered for anything. That way, if DOL does go through, and then also if you're just a licensed only insurance agent and that's where you're going to stay, we have that covered too. So all three things that we were there 30 days ago and I told you guys we were going to get there, our ship has arrived, and I'm absolutely confident we have everything taken care of, and we're going to be in really good shape. Now, which comes down to another thing. So, Rich, you're going to say, hey, if DOL doesn't go through, then, no harm, no foul. I agree with that to a point, but again, I'm not going to get caught in this situation again. I should have did it after 0550 when they tried to make indexed annuities a security back then, and I'm probably like everybody else that, it's been a great run for 5 years, and, why change? But on this particular thing, I'm convinced that we all have to change, and going forward, I would tell you guys and encourage you that, if you're a little bit younger than me and you're going to be in the business another 10, 15, 20 years, just FYI, I'm 54, an old dog's learning new tricks type thing there, but I don't know if I would do it. If I'm 55, 58, 60, and I'm a 7 right now, and I'm doing insurance products too, I don't know if I'd do the IR. Might, but that's an individual preference there. But if you're younger and you're going to be in it for a long time and you want to capture those assets that you weren't able to capture just being insurance-centric only, you definitely would probably want to look at that becoming an IER. So, and we're going to do it. So if you have an interest in doing it, give us a phone call. Again, so now let's fast forward to January 2018, and let's say we get a reprieve, but it goes through in some fashion. I just want everybody to know we're all going to be in really good shape to be able to, compete, offer the right kind of products for everybody, and take care of everybody that like I told you we'd be able to do. So, and one last closing thought here. I know there's a lot of other competitors out there. I mean, I had 2 calls today from other IMOs. What are you going to do after DOL goes in? Who's going to sign off on your annuity business? And I wanted to call the guy back and say, didn't you see the news? I mean, it's getting delayed, and it's probably going to get delayed. Look, you don't have to do that yet. And even if you become an IAR and DOL does not go through, I'm just telling you, I'm prepared, and I got some people working in here that are going to help me, though, because we're hired the OSJ. They're going to make sure we're all compliant in here to be able to do everything. But I'm going to tell you something. All of a sudden, becoming an IAR or becoming 7 licensed, I don't know if it's all it's cracked up to be. The extra regulatory environment you're going to have to deal with. Man, I tell you, I've seen it, and I know what's going to happen in here, and it's not going to be a cakewalk. So just tell you, anybody who says you have to do this, you got to do that, you don't have to do anything. This is just another option, and why we're doing it. Hey, I'm tired of having the broker-dealers tell me that everything's got to run through the broker-dealer now, and that they're taking a cut of your commission, and they're taking a cut of our commission in a nutshell, because all it really is when it comes down to it, it's nothing more than a money grab is the way I really think it is. But that's the rules that are being put in front of us, and we're going to have to play by them. And I just think it would be a better idea for all of us and all of the reps we work with to have a solution to keep that money, do the right thing for our clients that we've always done all the time that we've been working with us, and still have an outlet to conduct the business we're going to do in the future. So I don't know if there's any questions here. I don't want to beat this thing to a bloody, to a pulp, but, as we hear a rule on Wednesday come down tomorrow that it's actually been delayed, we'll hit an email out to everybody and let them know that, it has been delayed, and we'll keep everybody up to date. I will tell you that after April 17th, when our new guy starts in here, we're going to have a webinar literally once a week. And all we're going to be talking about is, not just pros and cons, but for the guys that want to explore the IAR and that want to go into that, add that extra tool into your kit, you might want to be on that webinar so he can walk you through everything you got to do and, to get the ball rolling to do that. So good things coming, and believe it or not, after all this is said and done, I'm kind of glad where we're at. I think there's a heck of an opportunity. And for the guys that are going to stay in this business, I honestly believe that we also have another great opportunity here to all do very well. Even if this rule passes, I think it's going to flush out some guys that are just kind of doing it part-time. But the guys that are in this business to stay, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for us. So anyway, Rob, are there any questions down there?
I don't. Good.
Yeah, we're good. And
you reiterated about the additional webinars, and
yeah,
we'll be staying in communication. Big headlines coming for everybody over the next several weeks.
Right, so. Right. And if you have any questions, always email me, call your rep up here. And man, I'm not to go back to this thing, but if you need to talk to us about our BD option, man, give us a phone call. We're here to help, and I think we got a great solution for you. So anyway, love talking to you again, and anything you need, always feel free to give us a call up here. Thank you.